Hey everyone, welcome back to iOS Tech. Today we are starting an exciting journey through ShadCN UI's awesome component library with Next.js. In this series, I will show you how to use every single component, making your Next.js projects look professional and feel amazing to use. Each video will break down different components so you can follow along easily. In today's part 1, we're diving into 4 essential components. The Accordion, perfect for FAQs and collapsible content. Then Alert, that is for beautiful notification messages. Then Alert Dialog, that helps us to show interactive confirmation pop-ups. And finally, we will cover Aspect Ratio component that will keep your images looking sharp. I will show you how to install them, customize them, and use them in real-world scenarios. Whether you are new to ShadCN UI or looking to level up your UI game, this series is for you. Ready to build some awesome UIs? Hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. So this is the website where you will find all of the documentation and the examples. On this landing page, we have examples built by the ShadCN. You can explore them if you want to. And other than that, we also have the blocks section. So in that, you will get the entire set of the modules all together that you will be able to use. So for example, if you want to create a login form, it will have everything, buttons, input, etc. and so on. So now as we want to see the list of all of the components, you can just go to the docs and click on the components. Here you will find a list of all of the components. Before starting, we have to set up our project. So go to the introduction. Here you will find all of the basic details and all of the necessary steps that are required to set this up. And here you can see that currently it is supporting all of these frameworks out of the box. So like you can use it with Next.js, White, Remix, Astro, Laravel, and you can also use it in manual mode. Like you can use it in the normal React applications that are not using any framework. Okay, in this series we are using Next.js, so we will be using their option for Next.js. Click on that. So it is saying if you are using Next.js 15 and React 19, then you should see this guide. If you are upgrading, then this page would be very helpful for you. And using ShadCN on Next.js, so they have different options. If you can use NPM or PNPM, according to my experience, PNPM is the fastest way to use it. It is very fast, and but NPM has been slow for me when you create your project or install component. Okay, so this is mostly about the upgrading. We will go back to the introduction and installation section. Click on the Next.js, and here we have option for PNPM, NPM, YAR, and Bun. As I said, I would be using PNPM because this is faster. So just click on this, run the init command to create a new Next.js project or to set up an existing one. So copy this command and open your terminal. And once you are in the right directory where you want to create a new project, just copy it and paste it. Okay, now it is asking for some questions that the path does not contain the package.json file. Would you like to create or start a new Next.js project? So it will automatically detect if you are trying to use in the existing project or if you want to create a new project. As we want to create a new project, so just press Y, and here you will have to specify the name of your application. That is anything. I will just use ShadCN Next.js. Okay, now it is asking me that which style would you like to use. You can use New York or default, whatever you prefer. And here it is asking that which base color you would like to use. They have natural, gray, zinc, stone, slate, whatever you prefer. Press first one. Would you like to use CSS variables? Yes. Okay, it is creating some files like components.json. It is updating tailwind.config. It has updated the globals.scss file. Okay, the project has been created. Now we can go into our project, cd ShadCN Next.js, press enter, and now open it in your favorite editor. I will be using the VS Code for this. Okay, our project has been opened in this editor. Now it's time to run it in the browser. So open the terminal in the root directory of your project and run the command npm run dev, press enter. This is the URL that you need to open in your browser. Okay, so this is our first Next.js app along with the ShadCN configured. So this is the starting point. Now you can extend it and make any of your changes. You can see we have the app directory, and within that we have the layout and we have the page.tsx. Okay, and they also have updated the global.css file that you can see. They have added some basic styling there. We also have the components.json for some configuration from the ShadCN. All right, now it's time to start. As we have the ShadCN ready to be used, our app is running in the browser. We will just remove everything from from this page.tsx, and I will export default page and return something from here. Okay, here add a function. All right, now you can see this content is visible. All right, now go back to the ShadCN documentation, scroll down, go to the component section, click on the Accordion, and here you will find the instructions to install and use the Accordion. So Accordion, a vertically stacked set of the interactive headings that each reveal a section of content. So here we have a section preview that will show you the preview, how it is going to look like when you will install, and it has different options for different themes. This is default, this is New York, and this is the code section. So this is the code that you need to copy and paste. Okay, but before pasting this code in your app, you have to install it. So whenever you decide to use a specific component, every time you will have to install that specific component. Okay, and as we are using PNPM, so we will be using the PNPM command. If you are using a different command npm, you can select that. There is also a manual mode. I will just not use it. I will use the CLI mode. So copy this command and open the terminal in the root directory of this project and run this command. Actually, let me commit these changes because I want to show you what changes it will make whenever we will run the command, so it will be easy for us to see the difference. By the way, I am using GitHub Copilot, so it gives us a very nice feature that you can click on this button. It will suggest you the commit message that is supposed to be added here based on the context or the changes that you have made in this. Okay, so just add it and commit that. All right, now let's hit that command and wait and watch. All right, you can see one file has been changed. If you click on that, now we have 4 changes in there. First one, in the package.json, it has added this dependency Redux-UI React-Accordion on this version. Secondly, it has updated the tailwind.config.ts file. You can see it has added some keyframes for the animation of the accordion, and then it has added a new file inside the components/UI accordion.tsx. So let's find it here. In the app directory, we have the components folder. Within that, we have the UI folder, and we have the accordion.tsx. So whenever you install a new component, every time it will create a new file under this folder, components/UI. So for now, we created only one component yet, so that's why we have the accordion.ts. It will keep growing over time. Okay, so you can see it is a client-side component of the Nextjs, and it is fully editable, and it is available right in your source code. So if you don't like something, or if you want to extend it, you are free to open this file and extend it or make any change if you want to. But most of the time, you don't need to make any changes because this will fulfill most of the needs of you. All right, now it's time to use it. So for that, I am going to go to the code section, click on this icon. It will copy the entire code and replace this with this one. You can replace it, or you can create a new component, use it in another component as the child component. Okay, so we are exporting it, and as this is a page.tsx, so this has to be a default export like this, export default function like this. Okay, now go back here. You can see our accordion is visible and it is fully functional, and let's quickly improve it a bit. I'm going to create a new file or component. You can name it my component.tsx, or you can call it accordion demo.tsx, and let's cut everything and paste it here in the demo file, and go back to the page.tsx, and here I will add a heading accordion, save it, and on this div I will add some styles like class width should be 70% and margin auto would bring it in the middle. Okay, and here I would like to add some Tailwind CSS classes to make it look like a heading. Okay, so this is my heading, and after that I'm going to import my component accordion demo. Make sure to import it from this path, and as we don't need to pass any child to this component, you can just make it like this, save it. Okay, now go back to the browser and you can see our accordion is looking very nice. You can always go back to this accordion demo component and make any changes. So for example, maybe you want to make it dynamic, so you can just remove all of these items like this, and here on the top I will define my data like constant data, and we got all of our objects that we will use to repeat in this accordion. So here I will add data.map function, and we'll map through it, and in the every iteration we will return this accordion item like this. Okay, now let me show you. You can see we have 3 accordions, but there is a problem because now we're using the loop and our value is same. That's why whenever you try to open it, it opens all of the accordion at the same time. So to resolve that problem, you can either use index, or if there is the ID property in your object, you can use that as well. So here I will just remove it, and here I will add index, and it is complaining that it has to be a string, so it's okay. I will just add some string with it, and we also have added the key that is recommended when you use the loop. Okay, now you can see everything is working perfectly fine. After that, we need to use the dynamic data as well instead of the hard-coded one. So here I will remove this trigger text and I will use item dot question, and here we will add the answer. So this is kind of FAQ accordion that you mostly see in the websites. Okay, and if you have more number of items, it will keep growing based on the number of objects that you have in your main array. Save it, you will see that now we have more items in this accordion. So in some case, if you want to make any change in this accordion, you can just click on that and you will be taken to the accordion.tsx file, and here if you understand this code, you can very easily make any change, or you can change the logic. For example, these are the classes that you don't like, you may want to make some change, you can just make change in them and it would be just working fine. So by the way, there are multiple options that you can use, like in accordion we have a prop type with value single. You can have other value as well, like if you check, you will see we have multiple and single option. If you select multiple, then let's see what happens. So in that way, it will allow you to open multiple items at the same time, but if you keep it single, then it will keep only one item opened at the same time. So when you use multiple, then you cannot use the collapsible prop here, you can just remove it. Okay, so other than that, we have this API reference section as well. If you want to dig deeper into this, if you want to see further options that are possible, as they are using Radix-UI behind the scenes, so you can go to their documentation for the accordion, and here you will find all of the details about this accordion. For example, we saw earlier the prop type. Here you can see other props as well that you may use. So for example, if you have the type, you can see the details about every prop, that what they do and what are the benefits and why you will need them. So as it is saying, for the type determines whether one or multiple items can be opened at the same time, and the type of the value would be enum, and if you click on this, it will show you all of the available options that you can use. So other than that, you can also add the disabled property to make it disabled, so when true, prevents the user from interacting with the accordion and all of its items. So for example, here I'm going to add the disabled prop like this, save it, and now you will notice even if you click on any of these, it will not expand. So you can also disable a specific item as well. So for example, here on this accordion item, I will add a condition like disabled, and it should be disabled only if the index is 0. So only first one would be disabled, but all others would be working. You can see when I click on the first one, nothing works, but it works for the others. You can change the index. For example, I want to disable the third one, and that way third one would not work, but others will be able to collapse and uncollapse. Other than that, we also have the keyboard interactions. You can learn about that what keys you can use to navigate on that accordion. You can use space when focus is on an accordion of collapse section, expands the section. So for example, let me show you. I will press tab, and if I press space, it will uncollapse it. And if you are focused on a specific item, if you press enter, it will collapse and uncollapse it. Okay, space also does the same thing. If you press this multiple times, then it will collapse, uncollapse. Further, you can tab, go to the next one. You can use the shift tab that moves focus to the previous focusable element. So let's try that. So you can see in this way you can go back and forth, but you will notice that it is skipping the disable one because we have made it disable. It will not focus that one because you cannot click on that. Anyways, now let's move on to the next type of component. We have the alert. Alert displays a call out for user attention, and this is a demo. That's how it will look like, and this is the method how to install it, and you can also use this destructive mode as well. Alright, now first of all, copy this command PNPM and open the terminal, paste and enter this command. Okay, you will notice that only one item was added. This is a new file that was added in the components/UI folder, although it did not add any additional dependency in the package.json, and nothing was added extra in the tailwind config file. Okay, now as it has been installed, let's go back to our page.tsx and go to the code block and click on the copy, and above this accordion demo, I will paste my code. Actually, this is the entire code including the component class or function. So I will create a new file, and the name of the file would be alert demo. Actually, let's create a new folder, demos, and I will move all of the demo components into this. Yes, and let's create a new file, alert demo.tsx, and paste it. Okay, now go back to the page.tsx, and here I will use alert demo. Make sure to import the alert your demo where you have saved, and now you can see the alert is visible now. Let me add some line break above it, this, and let me add line break below this step. Right, now go to the alert demo and let's see what changes we can make directly to it. So this is the icon. You can easily change the icon if you want to, and in the alert root component you can use the variant prop, and here you can specify that what kind of variant you want to use, and let's see what are the possibilities. You can use this default and destructive. So let's switch to the destructive, and this is how the destructive mode or variant will look like. Okay, so if you want to dig deeper into this and want to customize it, so you can go to the main file that was added in the components UI folder. Here they have added all of the code. You can very easily extend it. So for example, currently we have only 2 variants. You can extend it to add more variants like informative, and you also would like to have the success variant, and in this way you can grow as much as you want. And now here let's try. By the way, when you add a new variant, it will also be shown in the suggestions of the VS Code, so that is also nice. You can make some further changes like the colors. So instead of text success, I will use a different one like text green. By the way, I don't see any suggestions for the colors, so we need to add the Tailwind CSS extension. Okay, and now let's change the border color as well, like green 400. Let me make it darker, like 700. Okay, so you can see this new variant is working. We can make these changes for the informative as well. So I use the blue color for the text and for the border, and now let's use this one, informative, and save it. Okay, so now we have multiple variants that you can use. So this is how we extend it. Now let's move on to the next one. We have tested all of these. Next one is alert dialog. So in the alert dialog, you can see we will have a simple button. If you click on that, a dialog would be opened with the cancel and continue button, and within that dialog you will have the title, content, and the overlay behind it. All right, now let's copy this command and go to the terminal and paste and enter. That would immediately install it, and every time you run a command, it will also tell you in the terminal that which files it has changed. Like it has created only 2 files, nothing else. It has added a button and the alert dialog. You can go to that file as well. That is in the UI folder again, and it is using the Redux-UI React-alert-dialog, and it must have changed the package.json. You can see it has added the React alert dialog and React slot from the Redux after this command. Okay, now it's time to use it. So just go above and click on the code, copy the code, and in the demo I will add alert dialog demo.tsx and paste this code here. Now close this file, go to the page, and here I will add alert dialog like this. Make sure to import the component. Actually it is using the wrong one. Our component name is alert dialog demo. Delete that wrong import, and now we are using the correct component. Accordion, we have the alert dialog demo, and now go back to the app. We have the button. If you click on that, you will see that dialog is working perfectly fine. So you are free to pass any parameters to this. So for example, if you go to this dialog component, you can define your props. Like here you can have title, description, and also you will define the types, title and description, and you can simply use them here like this, title and description. Okay, now we did not pass anything yet, that's why it is empty. Now here I will pass title, hello, and in the description I'll pass hello world. Save it. You can see now we have the dynamic data that we are passing to it. Okay, so you can again go to their API reference and you can see all of the options available. So most of these would definitely work for you. So for example, alert dialog, you want to track the events, like you want to perform some action when open change, like it is saying event handler called when the open state of the dialog changes. So let's see if that is triggered. Here I will add open change, and here I will add an alert that will show the open property that is coming from this parameter. Now so we are getting a error that we cannot do this because this is a server component by default, so we have to convert it to the client use client. That will make it a client side component. Okay, now you can see as soon as I clicked on that, the status is true, but if I close it, then another event would be triggered that will show that current value is false for the open state for this dialog. Okay, in this way you can do perform any logic when the dialog is opened or closed. And if you check other options, you can also track if on escape key down was called or not, and you can add this event on the content section. So this is the content. Here we have the event on escape key down, and let's alert escape. Okay, now click on that escape. You can see escape was coming in the alert. Let me remove other alerts that is distracting. Okay, now open the dialog and hit escape, and you will see that that event was triggered. So depending on your need, you can always go to this API reference and make any changes whatever you want to make, or you can also extend your original components that are in the UI folder. After that, we have the aspect ratio component. So for that, copy the command and open the terminal, run the command, paste it and wait. So it has created a new file, aspect-ratio. Now it's time to use it. Go to the code section, and this is how you are going to use it. So as this is a simple code, so I will just copy this part and go back to the page.esx, and here I will add it like this. Make sure to import the aspect ratio from the component/UI aspect ratio. It will show you option to import from the Redux UI, but we don't have to use it directly because we have our customized component that we created with the help of the ShadCN UI. And now we need to import the image component from the Next.js. So make sure to add the import statement for that. Okay, I have imported the image tag. Now errors are gone. Okay, so with the aspect ratio, it displays content within our desired ratio. So this is a quick view how to use it that we already have used. So you can make changes in this ratio parameter or prop, make your desired changes. Okay, we are getting this error that we are actually using a remote URL. This is not a local image. So that's why, because of the security, it is not allowing to load any image from a remote website. We have to whitelist this domain because this is a base domain. So in the Nextjs, there is a file for the configuration. So copy this base path, open the config next.config.mjs file, and here we need to add our host name like this, add images domain like this. Okay, save it and reload it. Okay, now it is working perfectly fine. You can see it is loading the content within the available aspect ratio. Okay, let me use a different image from this website. So we have many other images. Let's pick one interesting image. So I'm going to use this one. Okay, copy the image address and go back. Let's delete it and add our image and reload it. Okay, you can see it is now working perfectly fine. And if you make a change in the aspect ratio, it will adjust the things for you. For example, instead of a 16, for example, I add 8:9 the ratio, it will be adjusted like this. You can see, you can make it 8:2, whatever suits you. You can make change and everything would be adjusted automatically. But if you don't have this, then it would not be so straightforward to manage the image size. You may have to add other properties in the image tag directly, and there are other complications in there as well. So this is very convenient if you use the aspect ratio. So I really like this one. Alright, I think that's all for this video. I hope that you are enjoying this series. In the next part, I will continue working on other available options like components. We will cover all of these components one by one, and also we will explore how to use these examples, or how to use the blocks and how to use the charts. And we will also see how we can create the custom themes and change the colors, etc. So we are going to learn and explore a lot of things. So stay with me in the next series and we will learn a lot together. Thanks for watching this video so far. Hope to see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and share this video and click on the bell icon to get notified for my upcoming videos. Take care. Goodbye.